loc lovers. So you're wearing the same hairstyles you always did, twisting the same way, using the same hair products, but you notice that your hair is dry, brittle, it's breaking, and it's thinning out. Well, there could be a couple of reasons. The first one could be that you are using sulfate, paraben, conditioner or a shampoo. Now I know you're gonna say, oh, I always use it and then I had no problems. Well, over time, remember, over time the sulfates dry the hair out, the parabens and the waxes, they compress the locks and make them look even thinner. So yes, you may have had a lot of success using those products, but after a while it takes a toll. So you should be mindful of that. A next thing could be over twisting. You know, when you do your beautiful hairstyles, those updos, sometimes when you twist that root so tightly and you have it up, not just tightly, but you have it up for a whole week or 2 weeks or so, after a while, because you're twisting in the same direction, same spot, for the same style, it's going to compress those locks even more. It's going to look thinner, and the thinner the lock, of course, the weaker it's going to be. I mean, not weaker, but the less manipulation it's going to be able to withstand. So those are some things to consider. And I'm saying that because I know I love curls, and that is why in the previous tutorial that you saw, when I do my everyday curls, I try not to curl the roots. I try not to curl in the same spots every single time, because after a while it will take a toll on your locks. So yes, even though you don't like to hear that mantra that loose naturals or lock people use, which is no parabens, no sulfates, no waxes, that may be one of the reasons why you're finally starting to see thinning and breaking and weaker locks. That's something to consider. And also, you may not be conditioning your ends as much. If you see that your hair is super dry, a lot of us, I'm guilty of it, you know, we tend to condition the first 2/3 and then forget about the ends. But the ends are the oldest part of your locks, so they need the most moisture. So don't forget, because that's going to contribute to drying, thinning, and breaking, snapping locks. And speaking of ends, you will notice if you have some ends that are breaking or split at the ends, those particular locks, you will notice that they are drier than compared to the rest. Take a good look. When you do the moisturization for your hair, you're going to see that that particular lock or two or whatever, they're going to be a little bit drier. That's because the ends, the moisture is leaching out of the ends of your locks and you need to snip it off. Yes. You don't have to take my word for it, but I'm just saying, when next time you moisturize, feel those locks that have split ends, and you will see that they are way less dry and they're retaining way less moisture. So that's another thing to consider. And the last one I would say is just overall moisturizing. You had a beautiful routine for summer and you transition it over to winter. However, it's just like your skincare regimen. Sometimes you may need to switch it up a bit. For the winter, you may require a heavier oil to seal, you know, maybe a castor oil or a combination of oils with a jojoba oil as a carrier, you know, but that's just something to think about, you know, because we have our routines and they work really, really great for us, and then we see the sudden change. So these are some things that you might want to consider. Okay, loc lovers, until next time, bye.